We woke up this morning to this. This new baby lamb was born sometime early this morning or late in the evening. We're not absolutely sure, but sadly yet again we didn't get to catch the birth. But never mind. It's a healthy little girl and she was very quick on her feet, running around along with the others, and Mum is very attentive. This is her second lamb, and based on her previous births, we don't have to worry too much about her, unlike the other ewe that we are still keeping a close eye on. So it's Monday move day today. We are moving the chickens, and if you've been following us, you'll know the plight of this stupid chicken fence. It is a pain in the butt. Really, I would have loved to be able to move this a lot more often than we do. We move it once a week, but it is just a pain, and you can see that it gets caught up every time you move it. Now those feet on the end aren't as standard on the iPet net. We've had this net a year.
It's rubbish.
And it broke within the first few weeks of having it. So
okay.
Yeah, the net is great. It works a treat. We haven't had any issues. Well, I'll say that now. They'll probably end up with foxes now. But the tops, if you hit the tops, they snap off. So all of them are snapped off pretty much. So it comes to standard with these feet. However, they last about 5 seconds, because as soon as you put them in our ground, because our ground's quite hard, they clump over and become pointy things together, and usually this spike falls off, so you're only left with the elbow bit. So what we've done is, because we've got Kiwi Tech for the cows and the sheep, we've actually changed, because you buy them in modular bits in the Kiwi Tech stuff. So we've bought Kiwi Tech feet, bought extra feet, and we've put the poles inside the feet, and they work a treat, because you're meant to be able to they're meant to be standing poles. You're meant to be able to put your feet down on the poles and push them in, the feet in, sorry. But you can't. The Kiwi Tech ones, you can stamp on them and put them in. Hopefully, there you go. I'm just going to show you that one. The Kiwi Tech's there. Ooh, caught up. There you go. Look how easy that is. Can't do that with the other feet though. And the reason why we've put cable ties on them is because the net doesn't actually always stay on the poles, and you'll be moving around, like you can see, and the net's all fallen off from where you want it. And that is part of the frustration, I think, with this, is that you're permanently trying to carry the stuff over. Yeah.
So generally that one breaks off, and the reason is because the only way you can hammer them in, if you can't tread them in, or even if you're treading them in, is on that side. But you really want the weight above the main spike. They'll probably go in okay here because it's quite soft.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain, so it's actually easy to put them in now. Normally it's really hard.
It's just they're just not strong. The actual pins, spikes aren't strong enough.
But the net's really good. So what we've done, we have tried to get a Bainbridge net, which is has feet just like this. I'm so excited. I've ordered 3 and none of them have turned up, and I've had to complain so many times with these suppliers who are pretending that we have them online, but they don't really. And they're still abroad somewhere. They're still trying to import them into Australia. So what we've done is we've changed the whole thing, and we've bought another iPet net, which is far cheaper than the Bainbridge. The Bainbridge is way more expensive. And then we bought Kiwi Tech feet, and I think it worked out by the time, well, I haven't included the postage, because unfortunately the postage for Kiwi Tech is ridiculous. It's like $200, but we needed because it comes from New Zealand. But we did need more stuff for the cows and sheep. It works out $20 more expensive, but I don't have to wait. I think at one point in one of them I actually waited a month, and it was only because I questioned it. They realized let me know that they didn't have it, wasn't going to be here until January. So that was going to be 3 months away. Chickens really need more space. Anyway, so I'm going to put you down. You can watch us try and put it up. Right, so you've got to weave it up. We do every other green, otherwise it takes forever to push it through. And then you've got to push your bottom through, which is not easy because the feet are wider than the actual holes, which is a good thing. And then you push it back through so that you catch the bottom rung, whatever you like to call it, bottom wire, under the foot. Now obviously when your feet aren't all complete, that makes it a bit more of a challenge, but hence why we've cable tied them.
Well, I've no doubt we'll end up cable tying these.
Probably. We're pushing it in with our feet and we've already bent the feet. And this is the new part of the fence. It's actually, once it's set up, once you've actually put all the poles in the right places, it isn't actually as bad as we're trying to make it out. It's just the initial setup is a pain in the arse, isn't it?
It is bad. Sorry, it is as bad as we're making it out.
No.
The pegs, the
feet are, yeah.
Useless.
The feet are useless. That's not what I mean. And in all fairness to iPet, we have hard ground.
Yeah, but it didn't say on the description only to be used on soft soil.
No, it does actually say that it's suitable for hard ground. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is once you've got the pole set up in the right place on the net, it is a little bit easier and stuff. And because all the net is all caught up together where it's been in a box all tied up, so it all needs pulling apart and separating, and which makes it quite painful. And also, squares in the green section, which are the smaller, are obviously not always in the right line of the black one, so you need to actually make sure you get your your poles up in the right place. Otherwise your poles go all skew-iff and then your net goes out of shape. But it's a lot bigger than I thought, because we've put two together. So the original old chicken fence, which was way too small, was only 25 meters, and I bought a 50-meter net. In theory, I should have just bought a 25 one and put the two together. But anyway, we are planning on expanding our hens, and I'm hoping, but don't tell Andy, that we're going to have ducks. So they'll need a little water feature to come in as well, that we need to move around every time. He's excited about that, you know, you can tell, can't you? Anyway, at least the chicks can come out, because the chicks just stay in there. Only the hens will come out and live outside. The roosters will stay in here. Now, by my logic, and if you see something different, let me know. But she's a hen. Over there, can you see? That one there with the little tail, stubby tail. She's a hen, definitely. And I think the one in front of her is also a hen. Unfortunately, the others, I think, are all roosters. And that is exactly what we had last time. We had 2 hens, 5 roosters. And, yeah. But never mind. More food. It's amazing how quick they grow. And they are serious time wasters too, watching them having fun. Yeah, coming. Alright, I've got to go and put you down and finish off my job. One of the things it does come with is a whole array of, bless you, pegs. So you can see where the grass is quite high up here. It doesn't seem to affect the electric current as such, quite good. But obviously then things can go underneath and go out. So you can actually painstakingly peg all the way around. we don't bother. I will probably peg this bit, because obviously there is space to get underneath that. So I'll peg this bit down. It is currently standing up quite nicely at the moment. The rain and weather does affect it to a point. We get quite a lot of wind here, which comes in from this direction. So we'll put out some guy rope. When we first had this, we didn't bother because we didn't think we'd need it. And it is a game changer, having the guy ropes out. Really does make a difference to the stability of the actual net itself. The beasts have been released. Setup for the water is great on the Taj Mahal, because whenever it rains it just straight away falls into there, and because of the runoff we don't seem to really, unless it's really hot, have to fill it up that much. They do drink an awful lot of water, chickens, surprisingly, but they seem to really like it in here. And I was worried about it being hot. It's not. One thing I would like to do though is to replace this board with metal, because it's already starting to fall apart, which is quite annoying. You can see that. No egg. But never mind, they need cleaning out now. So that's my next fun job. That job done. That takes 2 seconds. One good thing about this Taj Mahal tractor is because it's so big, they've got more room. They tend not to sleep in the beds. They nest on the rails. Well, 2 actually sleep in there, but the rest roost on the rails. So they don't make quite as much mess as the other tractor. It's a good thing about this. So they're done. Now I've just got to go and do the chicks. Alright, so you can see the nesting box in here, how gross this is. This is because the chicks just sleep in these 2 big boxes. There's 9 of them, but for some reason they sleep in those 2 beds. Don't ask me why. Big rail, they can always sleep on the rail, but they don't. Anyway, so this is a bit of a dirty challenge, this one. Alright, there you go. That was nice and done now, nice and clean. So they're nice and happy. They've got their food. This food container is a pain in the bum because when it rains it fills up with water. If you have it where it is in the position it is at the moment, when they go to bed, or when they're up there roosting, whatever they're doing, they poop in it because the poop runs from up the top down. So the real hens are step feeder, and these are great. Well worth the money if you're going to get chickens. Because you just step on it, get their food, and they learn very quickly how to use it. It means rats can't get to it, normal birds can't get to it. There has to be a certain weight, which is partly why the chicks haven't got it. They're probably big enough now, but before they weren't. Now we've got the space, we can now move the tractor daily. So they will always have completely new grass to feed on. I think it's time for coffee. It's not a hard job keeping chickens. It is, and it's really hot and the flies are going mad at you. Right. It's amazing how quick these little lambs are growing. So that's one mob, and then the other mob goes over here. There's the you and Ian and the 2 lambs, and then we had Max who came to stay with us, and Max has decided to go over with that mob now, and they keep swapping around. And every now and again Rodney, which has got the black and brown on the far right, he keeps going between the 2. But we moved it from that paddock to this paddock today. It was so much easier because these sheep are actually quite compliant. They'll follow your feed. They're happy. The cows obviously go wherever you go. So they're really great and easy. And then Rodney was with them And he's turned now. He comes when we shake the container. So he's actually understanding that it's food, so he comes. So Andy was calling the sheep over here. He saw them getting feed. He took a beeline to come in, and they all followed him. So it was quite bliss moving them today. But we are testing them out on the new fence line. So we were planning on, at the back of our paddock, at the back of the farm, we have 90 acres. But it's only got the surrounding fence. And obviously that's far too much for them to eat all in one go. We want to partition off little bits at a time to get them to graze, move, graze, move, graze. So that we don't eat all the ground. We want to do rotational grazing. So to protect the soil, but also to stop them to slow down the worming process. So that they don't eat their own worms. So if we move them regularly, we shouldn't have to worm them anywhere near as much as normal cattle, or if at all. So less chemicals. Our plan is for this farm to be chemical free. That is the ultimate plan. Whether that happens or not is a different thing. So we were testing out the new fence. However, I had this inkling that the sheep won't respond to the electric fence, because they can walk between the lines. And as all sheep do, they chose that that's going to happen. So unfortunately, the sheep don't respect the electric fence. So we bought this. This is a Kiwi Tech brand. The cows are great with it. They're used to this type of electric fence as well, from when they came from when they were born. So they're used to that. But the sheep aren't. And we used to have electric fences in the other paddock that actually the older sheep, the ones that don't comply, they're used to it, but they used to challenge it anyway. But unfortunately the new sheep decided that they were going to challenge the fence and went straight through. So it didn't actually work. So we're going to set it up slightly different. So this is more, they're going to have the whole paddock eventually. So it's quite a big paddock. But we want to segment it off, see if we can challenge them to go use the fence, who goes through it, who doesn't. So then we can plan. Because one thing we don't want to do is have them in there 90 acres and we can't get them back, because it's just the two of us trying to round them up. And especially with the older sheep, who will actually just challenge us, and it'll kill us trying to round up 6 sheep in that amount of area. So setting it up as it was didn't work. So Andy set it up so that the bottom rung is electrified, the top rung is electrified, but the middle is neutral. But now we have all 3 electric, and we have a peg. See that at the bottom? So hopefully that will give them a bit more of a jolt, because what we realised is that the lambs could actually step over it because they didn't touch the middle line. So before they had to touch 2 lines in order to get a zap. If this new setup doesn't work, then we're going to have to buy sheep netting, which is very much like the chicken netting, but bigger holes. Or they don't have the bit at the bottom, I think, the green bit at the bottom, the smaller holes at the bottom. But it's the same sort of setup. You can only buy them in 50-metre lengths, is the biggest they go, which, when you're running that many sheep, 50 metres isn't very big space. You'd have to move them twice a day. So, and yes, we can put multiples together, but yeah, it's a pain in the arse, especially as the feet are rubbish on those ones.
If you're interested in the Kiwi Tech setup, watch out for our next video where we show setting up the posts and do our review.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.